What's up, CHFFL? Welcome to the off-season for 2022. 14 years in the book. We're going to wrap up the championship week, and then we're going to get into our off-season agenda. We're going to stay very busy, a lot of things to get to, not taking any sort of a break between seasons this year. So I was 4-2 in my predictions championship week, bringing me to 68-30 on the season. Got to be happy with that. Big story of the championship game itself was that after scoring 200 points in the semifinals, Bannis was a little disappointing. His big guns, Cook and Elliott, not getting anything really, just a few points each. And Max walks in with a little over 130 to his second CHFFL championship. Congratulations. And team of the week was Mark, getting the third place and proving that he deserved to be there as much as anybody. Just missed his opportunity this year. Great top three teams. Great season by everybody, really, but really kudos to Max for pulling his team out of a bad outlook preseason. I ended up getting first draft priority. You can take a guess that we're going to take number one overall. Since we swapped seconds with Mark, there's really no reason not to. Now, there's going to be a lot more in-depth coverage of this season. I'm going to do a full recap, but for now we're just going to stop with the championship week so we can get into our off-season agenda. First item has to be ownership changes. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. We have to decide quickly if anybody's going to leave, and then just as quickly we have to start the process for finding their replacement. Are we going to give them any expansion assistance? I have a suggestion. I'll talk about it in Discord, but as you are going to see, we're going to do a lot this offseason, and I don't want them to walk in thinking that we're giving them a bad deal. So after we have our 12 owners locked in, is this the year for a destination draft? First, we have to decide if everybody's in for that. I hope so. There has been I know a lot of you are very excited about it. I am too. We've been talking about Las Vegas for a long time. I love Vegas, would love to go there to do our draft, take the whole weekend for the CHFFL. If we decide we have to choose the dates as quickly as possible so everybody can clear their schedules. Then over the next few months, after we decide we're going to go, we'll do all of our booking, figure out where we're going to be, what type of fun we could get into. So that's objective one. Then we have a little shotgun here. We're going to do our logo and branding. That's happening now. I'm putting my foot down. It's been a couple of years we kind of tabled this discussion. It needs to be more, I know we want it to be professionally done, but we also want to think about cost, but it needs to be more than just a JPEG of one image. We want to put this on koozies. People have said t-shirts, maybe other types of swag. We need someone who's going to think about all these things. Letterhead for our scholarship. I have a friend who does this. I'm setting him up in our Discord to at least do a consultation and see if we like what he has to say. I want to get moving on this though. Next, we're going to do LLC licensing in PA, get the CHFFL legally incorporated, protect our intellectual property. I hear there are some Chartiers Houston fantasy football organizations popping up trying to kind of copy our swag. We want to be the first to have it official on the books that we are the true and proper CHFFL and add a little bit of professionalism to all of our endeavors, including the scholarship. Speaking of which, we have to revamp the scholarship. We had already talked about this, and it's the suggestion of the Bucks for Bucks staff is that we make it a general academic scholarship sponsored by CHFFL LLC instead of the Fantasy Football League scholarship. We want to maximize the number of people who are going to apply without, we don't want to taint it. The scholarship has to be special, and I don't want it to just be a generic, you can use your generic essay. I know we want it to have a little tougher criteria, but do we need to revisit that criteria at all or review our essays? These are things we can talk about once we get those other items out of the way. Next, are we going to move to Sleeper? We've talked about this before, and I think we didn't really have a strong feeling. Now we have a lot more experience, with about half the league being in Mark's Dynasty League. They've played in Sleeper for a year now. So I just wanted to bring that discussion up again. I'm kind of neutral on it, but I wanted to see if anybody's stance had changed and give a fair shake to anybody who wants to argue in favor of it. Next, rule changes. Let's change the tiebreaker rule immediately. You pick something. And it'll be great because there is no good tiebreaker for fantasy football that makes sense. So I can't wait for there to be a tie, and then I can just complain about it. It's going to be great. And then do we want to go to fractional scoring? Would help cut down on ties as well. I know a lot of people liked it in Dynasty, we've always been a traditional full point, but with advances in modern technology, we can go to fractional if people would like that. And are there any other rule changes? I'd like everybody to just take a look at our scoring settings and see if anything needs to be switched up. That's the last of special items. Then we'll get into our regular off-season schedule, choosing draft order, Outlook videos, choosing conferences. Now here's something I want Banis and Max to be working on in the meantime. Come up with your conference themes. If we're going to do a destination draft and go somewhere, I'd like to know what the themes are well ahead of time in case anybody wants to do anything special or fun theme related when we go. And then finally, we'll do our keeper selections before the 2022 draft. Season 15 of the CHFFL starts right now. So buckle up. We'll see you next time.